How do you go about getting mental health help for your child? That's a question we get a lot from parents. They're not exactly sure how to approach it. Now, it's geographical, so there's a lot of different things to consider depending on where you live and what services are available. For example, if you're on a farm, there's probably not a lot of resources in your area. Okay, if you're in a big city, you might have a lot of resources and it'll be hard to choose. One of the first things that I would recommend you do is actually begin the process with your general practitioner or your family doctor. Go in for a wellness check and be sure everything is well, and double check to see what's going on, and then ask your physician for a recommendation for whatever it is that you may think your child needs. So that's definitely one place to start. Your general practitioner will generally have some idea of who to recommend to. Now, one of the limitations is that they will recommend to people that they know, and there may be other people in your area that may be more effective or actually more helpful to you and your family. But it's a good place to start. Begin there and go with a recommendation and then evaluate. Now, I did a video on how to choose a good therapist or how to choose a therapist earlier, so go back and revisit that so you can choose exactly what's a good fit for you. You can also do a Google search. So if you go online and you can search online for recommendations in your area of different practitioners. Now, the downside of that is that you may not know very much about the person, and there are some sites that will give you ratings of whether or not this was a good practitioner or whether this was not a good mental health provider. So you may want to do your homework in that. Now, take some of those with a grain of salt. People usually will complain about a mental health professional because they've had a problem. People who receive services and the services were good won't always leave a great recommendation on there. And they may not leave anything at all because they don't want to be seen as somebody who's seen a mental health professional. So be very wary about recommendations that from therapists that are online because they may not be entirely reliable. One of the other things you can do is check with your social networks, and that's going into Facebook and figuring out in your area. You can ask friends on there. You can ask your neighbors for recommendations for mental health professionals in your area who may be able to help you. This has proven to be a very effective way to do it because you can ask questions and you can have those answers fairly quickly from people who have had experience with these people. So do your research and do your homework and double check. Now, one of the downsides to that is that if you have insurance, that person may not be covered in your insurance plan. So that's why I recommend you work with your general practitioner first, because they will usually ask you and they'll know what insurance you have and what may work for you. Okay, so again, do your homework and look around and ask. Word of mouth is also very, very helpful in finding someone who may be beneficial to you. Now, once you find somebody, do your homework again and don't rely on them. You want to be sure that this is a good fit for you. Again, I refer back to the video that I recorded earlier on how to choose a good therapist. Go back and revisit that. It's very helpful in helping you determine that if it's a good fit for your child and if services will be very, very helpful for you. So I've given you some multiple ways that you can find a mental health professional to help you with your needs. One of the things you should consider, though, is that with the growing problem with insurance and prices for treatment, there are some mental health professionals that choose to work out of any network. And so these professionals have set up their own businesses where they don't work with insurance at all. And depending on where you go, some of these are actually cheaper than seeing someone through insurance, because of course insurance will pay a certain amount and then you end up paying a copay for a certain amount. So you may want to do your research on that. It's a benefit for some therapists to work out of network because working with insurance companies can be very difficult in that therapists have to hire somebody to code correctly in order to bill an insurance company. And the same with medical professionals. You'll find that there are some medical professionals actually moving in this direction. There is a few in California where you can pay for concierge medicine, and you pay a flat fee of $100 for a visit from a physician. They'll come to your house and see. And that's kind of the general idea of what's happening in the mental health field, is that they're moving away and just providing services for a flat fee. And then if you need something that's a little more intensive and serious, then they can make recommendations from there. But that way you're not restricted to whatever's in your insurance plan. So do your homework, ask around, do a Google online search, find out, watch the video on how to choose an effective therapist for you and your family. And you should be in good shape in finding something that will be helpful and beneficial for you and your family. So that's how you would get mental health help. But it is required for you to do some homework. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to send them. We would love to answer questions here on our vlog and also through email. And don't forget to visit the Smarter Parenting website, where you can get some more tips and suggestions on how to be a better parent, and also on how to raise resilient and happy children. That's it for me, and we'll see you next week.